In this video, we're going to continue with the chassis. We have like a front bumper section here and a few other items we're going to build. But first, let's go to the left viewport, zoom in, F3, click off that edit poly, it looks like it's on. I want to select this whole grouping, okay, and make sure that's the only thing we have selected. I think we're going to move it up now. Let's move it up, right up. Let's zoom in. You can see the background image right there is about where the frame is. So that looks good. I'm going to go to the, I have my hotkey set as Shift and B for back viewport. And you can see the frame is in the center, the chassis. I'm going to move that out, probably to around right there. And then I'm going to clone that out this way. Roughly 2.5 grid spaces as an instance. Let's just flip it, push it in a little bit. Okay, go to perspective. That looks good. Okay, save your file. I haven't been telling you that enough. We need to save that file often, every 5 minutes or so. I've been saving it when I stop the exercise or the video. Okay, so now we have those sections there. I'm going to go up to Layer Manager. Let's freeze the boiler. Turns gray, that's okay, I'm not minding that. And let's just close that Layer Manager, go back to Chassis Layer. Top viewport. You can see the front right there of the chassis. So let's make this bumper. F3, we're going to start with a rectangle spline, as before. So there's one, meets up with just about the front section of the chassis. I'm going to do a little extension like this. And then I'm going to come really wide with a piece, just like that. Make sure it's roughly at the ends of the furnace, the burner, just like that. Okay, let's select the 3 pieces, 1, 2, and 3. Alt and Q to isolate, P for perspective. Let's click that first rectangle, convert it to an editable spline by right-clicking on the name in the stack there, editable spline. Let's detach and attach these other 2, which is done. Okay, as before, we did this in an earlier video. We're going to go down to the Boolean tools, spline booleans. Let's click on spline, select that spline. I'm going to use union, Boolean, click and click. Now they're all one big piece, which is what we want. Gonna roll back up. Let's go to vertex. Select this one and that one. And let's go down here and do a fillet. Okay, it's not bad, but what happens now is if we go scroll up here, select vertices. See, there's 2. Now when you're using a spline, you can't just weld it for some reason. I think you can, but it doesn't work as well. Let's do fuse first, then weld. Let's make sure we have only 1 here. We may have 2 there as well. There's only 1. Let's go to the other end. There's 2 vertices selected. Fuse first, then weld. Okay. Editable spline. Let's exit isolation. F3. Let's move that up. It's right around there. Zoom in. What we're going to do now is just extrude that a little bit. Modify rollout, extrude. Let's go to left viewport and zoom in. And let me just make sure it's not nearly as wide as the frame. It comes maybe halfway down. So let's extrude it down that way. And I'd say right there looks good. Go to perspective. Fits in good, and it looks like it should. So I'm going to say that's good. And we're going to move over to these right now, these cross braces. Let's select them. Let's also select the chassis on this side and the other part that we just built. Let's Alt Q to isolate. Let's do this. This is an instance. So what I'm going to do, select the polygon. We're going to select this polygon. Going to extrude it. Let's go to top viewport. I'm going to try to go roughly half the distance. It should be around there. Check for OK. And poly, good. OK, I'm going to exit isolation. And you'll see that because I have instances on both sides, they're kind of attached. Not exactly what I was hoping to do, but we could fix that pretty quickly, I think. This one and this one. And that one as well. Alt and Q. Okay. So let's do this. Delete 2, 3, 4. Let's take that one. Let's apply a symmetry. Let's click it for along the Z. Turn off slice along mirror. Click on this little mirror rollout below symmetry. Let's roll it out this way until it's in the center like that. Let's exit isolation. That looks better. That looks pretty good. Let's go P for perspective. That was orthographic or user view. It's a little disorienting sometimes when you look at it. Okay, I think with that, we're going to pause this video and continue with a few smaller pieces that go around the chassis in the next video. And we'll pick it up there.